We are waging war on mediocrity. It ain't no friend of me. It's your boy, the motivational teacher to the masses, popping on here for a terrific Thursday. Hey, I had some things on my mind, so I thought I wanted to come through and drop a few lines. If you would, for all my replayers, please fast forward about a minute, minute and a half as I share this out to all my social media outlets. And please, as you all pop in the room, holler at your boy and let me know you're out there. I'm starting to see the eyes add up. I'm sharing this right now, so if you would do the same, it would be of great help. Share this to somebody out there that you know may be looking for some bread-breaking moments today. That would be amazing. As you come in the room, I see the eyes, man. Holler at your boy. Let me know who's out there. Let me know who's out there. I know tonight is really impromptu. I didn't have it scheduled earlier to pop on, but I did want to pop on and just let you all. Hey, Auntie, thank you for joining us tonight. I did want to hop on. Hey, Angelique, thank you for joining us tonight. I did want to hop on right here and just break a little bread right quick. I had something deep down on the inside of your boy, so I wanted to hop on here right quick and just break a little bread with you all. Hope you all are having a terrific Thursday. Please, if you would, share this with somebody as well. If you would, type a name or two in the box. If you're on YouTube, do the same. Hey, Courtney, thank you for joining us. Hey, Rajetta, thank you for joining us. And we're about to get on this bread breaking. Give me 30 more seconds. I have a lot of people now that want me to tag them in. And I'm like, I can't tag everybody, but the first 5, 6 names I see, I usually hit them up, let them know we're going live. If you all would, please do the same. All right, let's get to this bread breaking moment. All right, it's your boy, the motivational teacher, coming again. Coach T, what's up, bro? I hope y'all having a good Thursday. Hey, I wanted to pop on here today to talk about the price of winning. I wanted to talk about the price of winning. I've been doing this Awaken Your I Am series. It has been phenomenal. But I want everybody to know that winning comes with an incredible cost. It will cost you something to win in this life. If you believe that you can win in this life and not be willing to pay the ultimate price to bring home the trophy, hey, Brandon, thank you for joining us, to bring home that trophy or to accomplish your goals and dreams, then we're sadly mistaking ourselves. I'm going to break bread with you tonight for a moment. I want you to know that it's going to cost you something to walk in your vision, to walk in that dream. You are going to have to give up something in order to get something of a much greater scale. You're going to have to give up something today in order to get something tomorrow that you have on your dream board, or on your vision board, or something that you're telling your children you're going to do for them. You're going to have to be willing to make the sacrifice. Yep, I'm going to break bread before it's over, before the success. You say, like right now, you know, all the bros, the Omegas, we're about to have Clave. I'm not going to be able to go to Clave. Why? Because my boys are in a tournament, and what am I doing? I got a short window to train my boys. And inside of that window inside of this window of my life, I have to prioritize. I have to prioritize because in this season of my life, success looks different than it did 5 years ago. Or success in 5 years later will look different than it does in my life right now. So you have to sit back and evaluate your life and look and say, what does success look like in my life for this season? In this season of my life, Courtney, what does success look like? I'm breaking bread right now. See, if we get to the place where we can't prioritize what success looks like in our life, we'll think we're doing good and we're going somewhere and we're on the same merry-go-round. We have to look at our lives and prioritize, what must I give up in order to get what I'm looking for? That business that you want is just not going to happen without you first giving the investment of time. If you're not willing to invest the time for that vision, for that business, then we need to stop praying and asking God for all these marvelous things to take place when I'm not willing to invest of my own time. I'm not willing to invest of my own purpose. I'm not willing to invest of my own resources. Before the great I am awakens your I am to his resources, you first have to exalt yours. Greater is he that's on the inside of you. That greater doesn't kick in until you've exhausted the end of what you have to contribute. I just broke bread. I wonder why I just don't have enough, because you've never exhausted all of your resources. in order for the great I am to kick in his resources. You have to exhaust everything. And the challenge with most of us, or the challenge with most mere humans is that we always leave something in the tank. We're always keeping a reserve. We're always just trying to figure out how to get there with the least amount of energy expended. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, greatness comes with a tremendous price. Greatness demands everything. And until we wake up to the fact that this journey is not going to be easy, this journey, and narrow is the way. Narrow is the way. Until I commit myself to the narrow way, I'll never understand what the true price of winning is. One of the people that I love listening to is Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant said he dedicated his life to the game of basketball. And he was doing an interview, and they said, Kobe, why did you dedicate? Come on, Angelique, I'm coming. Why did you dedicate your life, everything you had to that moment when you were playing ball? Why did you dedicate everything to it? He said, because when I was done, I don't want to say I wish I could have done more. I don't wish I could have done anything different. I gave all I have so I can move to the next phase of life. And I'm challenging us to take that disposition toward life. That I'm going to unwrap all that I'm going to throw my whole self at something and see what I get back. I got some people chiming into this conversation. Coach T, people try to base success off what other people's journey look like. Everybody's road to success is not the same. Come on, Coach T, and let your boy break bread on this. Coach T, you gave a really interesting point right there. Because, when I was early in the motivation game, I used to love saying 5 steps to greatness or 3 steps, because I read and researched that people are more apt to hit. Thank you, Brandy, for sharing it for me. That people are more apt to hit names or hit videos that have 3 steps or 5 steps or 8 steps to greatness or to discovering you or to defining your purpose. People love the steps. But Coach T, you said something right there. Because I had 8 steps to work for me, that means that the same 8 steps are going to work for you. Because why? The great I am has engineered each one of us, created us how we are for why we are. And my 8 steps may be completely different than your 8 steps. And to get to the same location in life. That's why you've noticed that over the past year and a half, I stopped doing 3 steps to discovering the best version of you. Why? Because the 3 steps that I took to discover me may not be the 3 steps that you need to discover you. That's why I always talking about awakening your I am. If you're awakening your I am, you're discovering your own truth in order to manifest your greatness with the great I am. So your success and my success is not the same. And it's unfair for you to judge your life, and it's unfair for me to judge my life. Thank you, Brandy. And it's unfair for me to judge my life based on the success that you've had. And it's unfair for you to judge your life based on what the Joneses have done across the road. It's completely unfair to you, and it's completely unfair to the great I am, the one who's awakening your I am. It's completely unfair. And by John Maxwell calls it the comparison gap. By us sitting back comparing what I have versus what somebody else's have, it always costs you something. The moment while you're gleaning and you're sitting back wondering why I don't have it like somebody else, is the moment that you could have been dominating your moment now in order to put yourself in a better situation. I love it, Angelique. We are all on unique journeys. And that's why you shouldn't allow what other people think about you. Everybody else has something that they want you to do. Everybody else has a better way for you to do what you've been put on earth to do. And I'm challenging you to exhaust all of your resources. I'm challenging you to give your whole self to something. And believe me, if what you give yourself to isn't what you were supposed to, it will be the thing that leads you to the thing that you're supposed to be doing. Motivational teacher to the masses. I told you some of my friends were telling me that I put pressure on my kids. Like on the NBA draft night, we had a draft party. We had cake. We had favorite foods. We had all those things. Why? Because I was so envisioning to my boys and saying, y'all can make it. Y'all can get there. If this is what you want, commit to the process to get in there. And somebody said, you're putting pressure on them to make it there. What if they don't make it? I say, if they don't make it, they've learned the process of becoming great. They've learned how to give themselves to something. And that process works in whatever area of your life. Right now, I work for a Fortune 100 company. Our stock price is going through the roof right now. I work for a Fortune 100 company. I am a people manager. When I went to college to be a special ed teacher, I had no idea that I would be working for a Fortune 100 company. Motivational teacher to the masses. How are you so successful as a people manager? Because when I learned through my aunt who's on here, I learned through my mom that when I was coming up, that you got to give yourself to something. When I came from a 1A high school in Alabama with 17 people in my graduating class and went to the Harvard of the South, and I finished college in 4 years. Motivational teacher, they said you weren't gonna make it. They said, how did you get through it? Because I gave myself to something. Was it easy? No. There were days, literally, there were days when I quit. Check your boy out now. Check your boy out. Now, this ain't one of these places where you just come to hear about wins. You got to understand that success is not linear. I just broke bread. There is no straight line to success. Success is going to have squiggles. Success is going to go up. Success is going to go down. Success is going to go back, going to go right. But it's all about the process of becoming great. There were literally days that I quit. I packed my car my freshman year and said, there's no way I'm going back to do it. And I looked in the rearview mirror with tears running down. Here I am, 6'7", 230 pounds, tears running down my eyes because I had so much pressure on me that I almost had, one of my favorite books say, sweat like great drops of blood that was on my face. I was under that much immense pressure. You got to understand, when I went to college, I came from a high school that was on academic probation every year. And I went to the Harvard of the South, which is Vanderbilt University. Can you understand the immense pressure? I was Mr. Alabama that year for basketball. And here I am sitting on the bench, and I got the lowest GPA on the team. Everything in my mind that I had trained for, I had trained to be a great basketball player, wasn't getting much playing time. I graduated high school with a 3.8 GPA. I've had a lot of success in my life. And bam, my first semester when I get to college, I got knocked on my back. And I packed my car and I was ready to go. And I looked in that rearview mirror and with the great I am, using this moment to, man, come on, man, I'm breaking bread right now. The great I am, using this moment that looks like, I felt like, it seemed like I was being defeated. And the great I am was using that very moment to awaken my I am. I looked in that mirror with tears, that rearview mirror with tears, and I can see it in my head just like it was yesterday. And I'm looking in that mirror with tears running down my eyes. And I said, Aunt, go home to what? I said, Aunt, go home to what? You got no choice but to stay. You want to go home and go to prison like your dad and your uncles? You want to go home and be a plumber? You want to go home and work on a regular 9 to 5? Go home to what? And it was in that moment, boy, where I had my first awaken I am moment. Listen, man, what the enemy thought was meant to take me out, was meant to make me quit, was meant to wanted to make me give up, was the very thing that the great I am used to strengthen my I am and said, boy, you're stronger than what you know. And there's some of us right now that we've said to ourselves that I'm not qualified, or I don't have the currency to pay the price of winning, that I don't have the background to win, or I don't have the strength to win. Some of us have already made that commitment on the inside of us that we don't have the currency, or we can't, the price of winning is too expensive. Come on, man, I'm breaking bread right now. We've made that commitment already, and we're telling ourselves on the inside that I ain't ready to pay that price. But by our words, we're saying, I'm going to win. And see, can I say this? Our words have a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. Because my heart is far away from my words. Oh, I just broke bread right there. Somebody better holler at your boy. I just broke bread right there. If nobody got it, but right there, I broke bread. You have a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof because you've accepted the seed that you're not willing to pay the price. I got people chiming into this conversation. Success is different, Tay. Success is different for everyone. We are all created in God's image and likeness, but all with a whole different everything. Say that. Completely different. Completely different. We all have untapped potential. Say that again, Angelique, the artist. We all have untapped potential. I'm telling you, like the price tag for success, the price tag for your destiny. And trust me, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not talking about cars, and I'm not talking about big houses, and I'm not talking about Gucci. I'm not talking about Louis. I'm not talking about materialistic things. I'm talking about the capital that God gave to you. Tay just said it. We're made in God's image and likeness. Do you think that's a mistake? It's not a mistake. When you were made, already you had everything within you to accomplish whatever he gave for you to do. That untapped potential, guess what? You have the tools and resources necessary in you to tap that potential. But the price is heavy. The price is expensive. That's why narrow is the way. Very few people are willing to invest in themselves in a way to be able to see their untapped potential. We'll invest in Apple. We'll go and we'll invest in Mr. Mercedes. We'll go and we'll invest in Mr. Gucci. We'll go and we'll invest in Mr. Kors, Michael Kors. We'll go and we will invest in Mr. Phil Nike. We will go and we will invest into Ruth Chris, Mr. Ruth Chris. We will go and we will invest into Coach. And those names carry very little value as it comes to awakening your I am. The main name you should be investing in is yours. Hey, Lori, thank you for joining us. The main name you should be investing in is your name. You should be investing in you, because that's where your greatest return lies, in the investment in you. You are your greatest return. You are your greatest asset. It's not the Dow Jones. It's not the S&P. You are your greatest asset. Invest in your I am. How much money have you spent on your I am? Now, we spend a lot of money dressing up this dirt that when I die is going back to the dirt. But how much have I invested into awakening my I am? What conference have I gone to? How many hours have I talked to people on the phone that's increasing my value? Oh, I just broke bread. That after I talk to those people, that I'm more valuable to my workplace, or I'm more valuable to my wife, or I'm more valuable to my children, or I'm more valuable to my family members after our conversation. See, we invest in a lot of places, but we invest where there are no spoils, there are no rewards. It's time to upgrade your I am, and it's time to invest in the price of winning. I don't have, my wife is always talking about, I'm not an introvert by nature. I'm more of an extrovert by nature. But my wife says, but you behave more like an introvert. It's not that I behave more like an introvert. It's just in this season of my life, I'm expending so much capital that I don't have time to be around people that are not moving in the same direction, or I don't have time to invest in things that does not profit my development and growth. Oh yes, I am so selfish. I am so selfish. And I'm telling you, if you're going to get to greatness, you got to be selfish too. Because people will take your time, use it, and do nothing with it. And you left holding all their problems on you. You going through oppression, depression, and you're suppressed based on their problems that they dumped on you. I'm telling you, grow selfish of your own time and invest your time. Like, let me tell you the order of mine. I'm just going to break bread. The order of mine is first, the great I am. The great I am awakens my I am. My relationship with the great I am is primary because the great I am makes me more valuable to every other relationship in my life. God is always first. Seek ye first the kingdom, and all these other things, come on, Brandon, will be added unto you. My relationship with the Almighty is always first. He increases my values and awakens my I am to profit every other relationship around me. Number two, my relationship with my spouse. My relationship with my wife is the second most important relationship. If I am looking at my time as currency and where to invest to get the greatest return, you got, ladies and gentlemen, until you look at your life and you prioritize them, you will never maximize what you're supposed to do. You'll never maximize what God gave you from the foundation of the earth. You'll never maximize all the things that should be added unto you. You'll never get it because you are too afraid of what people are going to say about you when you prioritize your life. My wife is my second relationship. I got to break bread with you. If that comes down to a crisis, it's going to go in that order. Whether I'm at work, whether I'm over there, whether what I'm doing, if there's a crisis that requires my time, those two priorities go first. I'm breaking bread right now. Number three, I've been entrusted with these kids in my life. And when I say these kids, yep, I got my two boys. Come on, Craig, I'm coming. I got my two boys, but also I run a nonprofit organization on the South Side. So when I say my boys, I'm including that group of kids, and my boys, they are my third priority. God has given them to me for this season. They have trained them to become young men. And that's a huge priority in my life. That's my number three. My number four is my business. Trust me, my secular job and my business, they run concurrently at the same time. Why? Because my I am is being awakened the most as I learn and grow on my secular job to be the best I can for my business. I'm breaking bread right now. Until we're able to say, like, I got very little time to be at bars hanging out. I got very little time to be setting out hops at the conclave. I got very little time to be playing in a bunch of leagues across at basketball and across Atlanta. I got very little time to be just hanging out for the sake of hanging out. I got very little time just to be taking vacations, Like even our vacations are prioritized. When do we take them and where do we go? Because our rest and revitalization is meant for our journey. Oh, I just broke bread. Even your rest should be on purpose. And most of us have to take a more active role in our life. Come on, we got to know your priorities. Hey, listen, the price of winning is understanding your priorities. If you don't know your priorities and you don't know what season of your life you're in, then if you don't understand this time and season, then you will give the wrong priority the right attention. You hear me? You'll give it to the wrong priority. And if those, hey, Vaniqua, thank you for joining us. And if those priorities are out of whack, you'll never maximize your manifestation. Narrow is the way. Winning costs something. Winning requires that I'm selfish with me. Yeah, I know y'all ain't gonna get that everywhere because some of us been told that we're supposed to just keep on walking by faith. We're supposed to give ourselves till I ain't got no more to give. God poured me out like a drink offering. Even Jesus went up a little higher than with Peter, James, and John, and then went up a little farther up there. Why? Because he needed to be selfish with his time. He understood that my most explosive growth is when the great I am is awakening my I am. He understood that I got to take Peter, James, and John. Why I take them? Because those are the ones that kind of see the world more like me, so I can glean from them. My question is to us, are we spending too much time with the Judases of the world? Are we spending too much time with the Benjamins of the world? Are we spending too much time with the people that does not profit us anything? I'm talking about the price of winning. It's a hefty price. The price of winning is expensive. We're a motivational teacher. I don't know. I didn't know you could win or lose at life. Let me break bread. Let me break bread. Listen, you came from somewhere, right? You came from somewhere. This might have been your introduction into earth, but this was not your introduction into the great I am and into the world. You came from somewhere. Guess what? When this body go back to the dirt, your spirit, you're going somewhere. This time in between is not just playtime. This time in between means something. I'm breaking bread right now. It's the price of winning. It's the price of winning. This time right here, when that doctor smacks you on the behind to the time you leave this earth, this time is going to count for something. What legacy do you leave behind? What do you leave behind for your children's children? What information, what resources did you leave behind for this earth to say I was here determines where do I spend eternity. I don't care about you lying, stealing, cussing, all that. What I do wrong. Listen, let me tell you something. The great I am is not concerned about all your sins. Let me just tell you that right there. Jesus died for sins. The great I am is just not concerned about all your sins. I know you've been saying, I got to live, I got to do this. No. You got one problem. You got one problem. The only issue is that I don't know who I am through the great I am. Hey, Mom, thank you for joining us. Man, listen to me. Let me solve all your problems in one statement. A Homo sapien, a male, female alike, only has one problem in this world. That I don't know who I am through the great I am. Every dysfunction in your life comes down to the point is that you don't know who you are. I just broke bread. Every dysfunction in your life comes down to the story that I believe that somebody said about me in my life, or the story that I perceived that about myself in that area of my life. The only challenge, oh my God, I just broke bread. Can I go deeper out there? If somebody out there say go deeper, motivational teacher. Can I go deeper on that point right there? Say, talk to me, get in the chat box, holler, motivational teacher. Can I go deeper on that conversation? The only disconnection, yep, that's a whole word, Angelique. Come on, all by itself. It's a whole word. I'm with you on that one. Come on, Kimberly. I'm about to do it. I'm about to dive. Like, listen, I didn't plan on going there and going there tonight. I wasn't even planning on being that deep. But Craig, I gotta go there. I gotta go there, Craig. The only challenge. Oh my, well, I got to sit up in my chair right now. This is a bread breaking moment. The only challenge in your life right now today, any area of your life where you're not experiencing the growth that you so choose, the growth that you believe you're supposed to have. The only challenge is you have to awaken your I am. See, what I do know is that you've already been blessed with every spiritual blessing, that everything that you are is already deposited on the inside of you. The challenge with a lot of us is we've believed somebody else's story about our life. And see, the only thing, I just have to learn who the great I am has awakened my I am to, and it reverses every story that I've ever believed in my life. Because he said what? I am more than a conqueror. Yep. He said, look, I have the tongue of the learned. I read and recite. There's no information that I cannot learn on this earth. Why? Because I have the tongue of the learned. I read and I recite. Why is it? I just don't know if I can retain the information. Who told you that? Who has bewitched you? Who told you you were incapable of learning information? Who told you you were too old of still accomplishing the goal? Who told you that? You need your I am awakened to the whole absolute truth. The only problem in your life is what you believe about you. It ain't what your mama said about you. It ain't what your cousin said about you. It's what you believe about you. Come on, motivational teacher. You got to go a little deeper. I am going, Vaniqua. Believe that. Awaken your I am and reverse the story. Angelique, the only challenge of our life is I don't believe of what enough in the great I am awakening my I am. I believe the great I am can do it on his own, but I don't know if he can do it through me. That's the man. That's the man. Listen, how can I say this? The entryway, the primary price to greatness is awakening your I am. Until you awaken your, I can give you 5 steps to greatness. I can go pull up any motivational speaker out there. They'll tell you gotta go harder, you gotta go longer, you gotta be all committed, you gotta be all these things, and you can be all 5 of those things all at the same time and still go nowhere. Because the moment you connect, come on, man, you know where I'm going, Angelique. The moment you connect what you believe with your works is the moment you have explosive growth. You have, listen to me. There is no gift that you lack. There is no resource that you lack. There's nothing that you lack right now in your life for the price of winning. Yep, the ministry of no for me in this season. It's for me too. And believe you me, it's part of the price of winning. I wasn't put on earth to do 50,000 things. I was not put on earth. You were not put on earth to do 50,000 things. That's why there's 6 billion people on earth, because I can't accomplish the total work by myself. And so I'm not committing myself to do all things. I've only been put on earth to do this thing well. And from this thing will spin multiple things. Like I love giving the example of LeBron James. LeBron James is a basketball player. LeBron James gave the first 30 years of his life to basketball to improve it. And from the life lessons that he learned from basketball, he's successful in movies. He has successful businesses. But what was his seed? His seed was basketball. He learned the facts of life through basketball. And I'm challenging you right now. There is a basketball in your life that will fund your initial seed to your greatness. But I gotta give time and attention to it, though. I can't, man. The worst thing on earth is to scatter your time. Man, I just broke bread. The worst thing on earth is to live a scattered life. That I'm over here, I'm over here, I'm over here, I'm over here. And all I am is a jack of all things and a master of none. And a master of none. Ladies and gentlemen, you got to commit yourself that I have to awaken my I am, because the price of winning or the admission to greatness is expensive. And me and my own natural ability, I can't afford it. But my partner, the great I am, awakens my I am to answers I didn't even know existed. I have a friend of mine that frequents our Motivational Mondays. Listen, man, they are building their own city. I mean, they're building their own subdivision with like-minded people with 10, 12 houses. And I'm telling you, I would have thought that a job of this magnitude, you would have had to have 30 million to put down. And these are like, $500,000 houses. I would have thought that you would have had to have $30 million in collateral. Come on, man. They don't have 30 million. They have an awakened I am, and they're building their own subdivision piece by piece. We'll get water. We got water this month. Next week, we'll get power line run. Next week, we'll get the road cuts. And they're doing it piece by piece because of the awakened I am. And they're investing time and energy they're building their own subdivision. I've never seen anything like this personally. And it's not because they have massive amounts of money. It's because they had awakened I am enough to say, I got my resources on the inside of me. And they did enough research and believed enough in themselves that they started the project without having all the resources there necessary. And every time they get to the next phase, it seems like the great I am, through their awakened I am, opens another door. And that's a word for somebody right there, because you're waiting and believing that you have to have it all together day one to manifest my greatness. No. Faith starts at the end of your comfort zone. See, the challenge is starting today when I don't see it. The challenge is calling yourself the motivational teacher to the masses when you got 19 eyes across all 3 platforms. Periscope, YouTube, and Facebook. I got 19 eyes, and I'm calling myself the motivational teacher to the masses. Why? Because I am building it, baby. I will build this plane while I'm in the air. All I got to do is get in the air, and I'll figure it out up in the air, because the great I am will not allow my awakened I am to crash and fail. I just broke bread. I might have some setbacks, but I will not fail. It is impossible for me not to see the vision through. I got some people chiming into this conversation. Alana, you can't cultivate a skill if you're scatterbrained. You can't. You'll be the master of all, you'll be the jack of all, master of none. And I gotta tell you, the price of winning means that you have to be top 5% at something. I just broke bread. You have to be top 5% in something. Malcolm Gladwell said, in order to be in the top 5%, you got to invest 10,000 hours. You got to invest 10,000 hours into something. Right now, I'm investing 4,600 hours a year to coaching, motivating, training, inspiring. That's what I'm doing right now, 46 hours. What are you giving yourself to? Kobe gave himself to basketball. Colonel Sanders gave himself to KFC. What's her name? Harry Potter. I can't think of her name right now. She gave herself to that series of Harry Potter. My question is, what are you giving yourself to? What do you when I say Tay-Tay, what should come to mind? Or when I say Alana, what should come to mind? You know, Angelique, the artist, got hers on there, or the future DON, she got hers on there. When I say your name, Craig, what should I think of that he's giving himself to? If I look over your life at where you spent your time the last 3 to 5 years, if I looked at where you spent the majority, J.K. Rowling, that's what I was trying to think of, Angelique. Thank you so much. J.K. Rowling gave her life to Harry Potter. She spent the first 3 years writing that book in a coffee diner, and she rode around on the train with that on the inside of her 5 years before she ever got the first book out. Why? Motivational teacher, because she didn't know what she had in her was so big. And that's the same thing for us. What are you giving yourself to? What should I think about when I say your name? Because we're talking about the price of winning. When I say Simone Biles, you already know. When I say Denzel Washington, you already know. When I say Mark Wahlberg, you already know. When I say Stephen Jobs, you already know. What are you giving yourself to? The people, I say Aretha Franklin, I say Prince, you already know. You already know that they've given us their life for something. My challenge to us, can people look at our lives, not that we need affirmation, or not that I need for somebody to validate my gifting, but I do need for me to be able to validate my time. If my goal is to be the top motivational speaker in the world, or if my goal is to be a millionaire, then how am I investing my time? Am I doing any research on stocks and bonds and mutual funds? Am I honing my skills? Am I building better introductions to my motivation money? Lord knows I got to keep working on my introductions. Am I working on giving better closing? Am I working on my content becoming more impactful? Like, each one of those are things that people do in order to pay their mission of winning. And I'm challenging you to look at your life and say, man, where have I made my greatest investment? Because that determines my greatest return. I just broke bread. The price of winning is expensive. And narrow, that's why so many people take their potential back to the graves. Because the price of winning is expensive. Well, motivational teacher, you talk like, it's supposed to be coming from, like I'm supposed to just give myself. That's wrong. That's wrong. And I'm gonna give this little nugget, then I'm gonna pop off here. This is just a little extra right here. Like, I love people that talk about like Mother Teresa and Martin Luther King were servant leaders. They were not servant leaders. People love saying that, but they were transformational leaders. Servant leaders give their life for a cause and expect nothing. Martin Luther King, Mother Teresa, they gave their life to a cause. And they expected somebody else to respond differently based on the information they presented. Well, he was just a martyr. No, 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 no. He was not just a martyr. That's the price of winning. He gave his life to a cause, for a greater purpose. And my challenge to you is, does it matter? Boy, I got to tell you, Martin Luther King believed so much in his goals and in his dream. He said, it doesn't matter if I make it with you. I have a dream one day. I've looked over to the other side and I've seen little white boys and little white girls and little black boys playing together. I'm challenging you to be that clear in your vision that you can sit there and say, I've already seen it. He said, I don't have to be there with you. I don't have to be there with you. He said, I've already seen it. My question to us is, are we that intentional with our focus that I spent so much time doing this that I've already seen it? I spent so much time in the civil rights that I've already seen blacks and whites hugging together. Can I say it right now? Can I take it motivational teacher to the masses? I've already seen the masses in front of me. I've already spoken in front of 40,000 people. I've already given words that magnificently changed people's lives. I've already developed millionaires that came from me based on my information. How can you say that, motivational teacher? Because I've already, I've looked over. My keen vision, my focus, my eyesight, I've already looked over and I've seen those things. My question to us, are we that focused, and are we that keen or have that kind of eyesight on what we want to do? Man, we got to break bread. I love it. Giving for a cause. Been talking about it for years. God has done it. It doesn't happen overnight. When preparation meets opportunity, then you have good success. Build, baby, build, brick by brick. Build it. Build it. And if you build it, the great I am will send them. If you manifest, if you perfect the gift, and see, that's why I'm gonna break bread. That's why, I see a lot of people in my genre, it's a copycat. I want to do it because they did it like that, or I think I should be doing what they did. I'm an original. I am an original, man. God did not create me to look like somebody else. He did not create me to do it just like E.T. does it. He did not create me to do it just like Ink does it. He did. All of them I admire and I love what they do, but he did not create me to do it like them. That was their price of winning. My admission is completely different. My admission is completely different. And you have to be okay with being different. You have to be okay for being ridiculed, because I'll tell you some of the comments I get. Well, if you're going to do it, if you're going to talk from the Bible, talk from the Bible. Stop doing all that paraphrasing. Or if you're going to give principles, you need to make sure they solid. Or if you're going to sit there and talk about your life, you need to make sure you're telling the whole story. I'm like, everybody got something to say about what you're doing. Then my question is, everybody that got a comment about your life, what are they doing with their own? Sitting on the sideline, commenting about what you're doing. And every comment you can't listen to, and every comment, I'm going to tell you, like Ben Franklin said, you can't stop and throw rocks at every dog that barks at you along your way to success. You cannot do it. So put your big girl underwear on, put your big boy underwear on, and say, I'm going and I'm climbing. At life for me, it ain't been no crystal stair, but I'm on my way somewhere. And either you can get with the program or you can get off. Either way, I'm fine. Because none of these, boy, I got to break bread. None of these that God has given me have I lost. If you meant to ride, let's ride. But you will not be baggage on my path to greatness. I don't mind. I'm telling you right now, that sounds so bad. It sounds motivation teacher sounds so. I'm telling you, the price of winning is expensive. The price of winning is expensive. Not everybody that is for that says, what is it? Yeah, I'm with you, Lord. Not everyone that says it is with you. Don't think that everybody that high five you is on your team to win. And I'm telling you, you ain't got to worry about who it is. The journey, the culture will find them out. You ride on, but once somebody shows you who they are, you keep moving. Nothing that you gave me, great I am, have I lost. Have I lost? If they're not in your life today, it means you didn't need them. If you did need them, he'll bring them back. Why? Because your I am is being awakened. You're forgiving people every day. If you need them, they will come back. If they're not with you today, I got to let it go. I can't cry about what I lost. I can't cry about what I lost because my destiny is pulling me toward it. The price of winning is expensive. Are you willing to pay the price? I can go ahead and tell you right now from what I know, very few are willing to pay the price. Very few are willing to make the sacrifice for success. Very few are so concerned that very few are willing to say, I got to give up this today so I can get this tomorrow. Very few are willing to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, if you can make that decision, you are in the minority and greatness belongs to you. They say, the air at the top is thin, but the bottom is crowded. Oh my God, I just broke bread. The bottom is crowded. Why is the bottom crowded? Motivational teacher to the masses, because they all sitting there talking about what somebody else is doing. The air at the top is thin. I'm telling you, the higher you make it, boy, I'm breaking bread right now. The higher you make it, and the farther you get up that mountain, the air gets thinner and thinner. It's crowded down at the bottom. Don't desire to be where everybody is. Desire to be your best. Desire to be the best that the great I am has made you. Don't desire, man. You keep hanging with these chickens. Keep hanging with these chickens. You better get up top, because I'm telling you, the air is thin at the top, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm not just talking about that because I'm 6'7". I'm just telling you that I'm lifting as I climb. And I'm telling you, the higher that I get up on this journey to greatness, the air gets thinner. Boy, I'm telling you, right? Come on, Vaniqua. Come on. The air gets thinner. And oh my God, can I say this and be in compliance? I'm gonna say this. The thinner the air gets, I'm gonna say this. And some people may agree, some people may like it, some people might not like it. The thinner the air gets, the fewer people want to be around you. The thinner the air gets, the fewer people want to be around you. I remember the story. My boy had 82 people around him. Jesus had 82 people around him. He said, man, unless you can, he was talking about communion, unless you can drink my blood and eat my flesh, you ain't fit for the kingdom. And the Bible said, 72 of them walked away. They got up and walked away. And he asked the 12 disciples that were left, are you leaving too? He said, man, I'm trying to see who can withstand thin air. I'm trying to see who can go the distance. I'm trying to see who ride or die. I'm trying to see who gonna fight for me. It was 82 of them, 70 walked away, and he asked the other 12, are you gonna lead too? Come on, that's the price of winning. That's the commitment to excellence right there. If you're gonna ride, man, you're gonna ride or die, you're gonna ride or let's get to it. But if this ain't for you, I completely understand and I completely get it. I'm opening the door to this train. It stops right now, but I got to keep moving. I got a destination. I'm on my way somewhere. I got to win this game called life. I got to leave an inheritance for my children. What's the cost of not winning, motivational teacher? Debt, lack, beg, borrowing, and stealing, never fulfilling your God-given destiny, not leaving a legacy of example of going beyond what you thought you could do for your children and your children's children. This is not about dollars and cents. It's about legacy. Stop shortchanging yourself. Stop shortchanging your generations to come. And now it's time to get moving. Yep, they ignore me when I send these videos, but text me some foolishness for a laugh the next day. Sorry, I'm not sorry for blocking you. Come on, Vanik. That sounds like you're starting to get the company of thin air. That's when you're moving up. Got to keep moving. I'm winning this game called life. I got to get to thin air. I'm telling you, the more and more you climb, the more and more baggage that was starting to fall. I'm telling you, as the great I am is awakening your I am, stuff just changed. I don't have to try to get better in life. I just keep going. I keep building. I keep growing. And the great I am is just cutting things away from my life. I gain new information as I'm going throughout my day. And it just seems like, man, like eventually, oh my God, eventually, I'm going to stand in the middle of my dreams. And as long as this air continues to get thin, I know I'm moving in the right direction. Hey, Beverly, thank you for joining us. I know I'm moving in the right direction, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm telling you right now, that's when you know you're moving in the right direction, when your circle starts shrinking. You know what I'm saying? When you're not around the same people that just talked about last year and what we did 10 years ago and what we did 15 years ago. And when people on your job and you ain't the person they call with all the mess, like Vaniqua just said, you know you starting to move in thin air. Boy, I'm telling you, boy, thin air feels so good. Like it feel like, man, God, I'm doing what you call me to do. It ain't crowded up here. Everybody can't move at this pace. Everybody can't get it like I get it. Why? Because I'm starting to enjoy this thin air. I'm willing to sacrifice today for my tomorrow. The price of winning is expensive, and I'm willing to pay the admission. And I'm challenging every ear under my voice. Reevaluate your commitments. Reevaluate your life. Because this price, anybody that put their hands to the plow and look back, you're not fit for the kingdom. What is that motivational teacher? He was giving you the price of winning. I gotta keep moving forward. Martin Luther King said, if I can't run, then I walk. If I can't walk, I'll crawl. If I can't crawl, I'll scoot. By whatever means, I gotta keep moving forward. What is it? I can't look back because this is my price of admission to greatness. I gotta keep moving. I gotta change the story about what's back there so it won't mess with my mental health. And I gotta keep moving in my direction. And man, I'm telling you, you put together enough days, you put together enough hours, you put together enough minutes of paying that price of winning, you're gonna find yourself like, man, like my life, I gotta break bread. And I'm gonna get off this thing. I was only supposed to be on 30 minutes. And I gotta break bread. Like my life, like Langston Hughes said, hasn't been a crystal stair. It's had tears in it, it's had tax in it. I've lost money. I've had cars go back. I foreclosed. I left out apartments just because I couldn't afford it and didn't pay the back rent. I just left because I had to do what I had to do. Man, I'm not proud of it. I'm not proud of what I've been through, but I will say that every one of those moments and every one of those life lessons that I was learning more about awakening my I am. And I needed those experiences to be able to understand what it means to have an awakened I am. Like I honestly, when I was 20, I honestly wouldn't have ever seen myself sitting in this seat that I'm in when I'm 40. Yeah, I know I don't look like it. I got a little bald, but your boy 40 and some change. I did not see myself sitting in this seat at 20 where I sit 40. I didn't see it. And the reason why I didn't see it is, number one, I wasn't supposed to see it. That's why we walk by faith and we not by sight. I couldn't have told you I would be in this place at 20 because everything was a struggle. Everything was a struggle in my 20s. If I judge my life based on my 20s, I would say, man, my 40s, I'm going to be broke, busted, disgusted, trying to figure out what I did in my 20s wrong. But the great I am began to awaken my I am, and every lesson that I learned from knocking my head against a wall, it began to grow me in a way that I can't explain. It began to grow me in a way that I made better decisions. I made better choices based on what did not work. I was able to learn from what did not work and from what didn't work for others. And in my 40s, I sit in a better seat. And oh my God, my 60s, I'm gonna be turning this world upside down because of what I'm gaining in my 40s. I'm telling you right now, ladies and gentlemen, trust the process. Pay the admission. Pay the admission. I ain't gonna lie, it's heavy. And the higher you move up, the more heavier the price. The price is not monetary. It's not in dollars and cents. The price, man, listen, man. The price is paid in physical, emotional, and spiritual. Forget with everybody so carnal mind, they think dollars and cents. You don't pay the price in cents. You pay the price and by how you give yourself emotionally, how you give yourself spiritually, how you give yourself physically. Come on, man. You got to be willing to pay the price. If you're not willing to invest in each one of those, you will go bankrupt on this journey to greatness. You will straight be midway and be wondering why I'm so burnt out. It's because you have not invested in every areas of every area of your life. I'm telling you right now, you need to be going to a gym. You need to be walking somewhere because you got to invest in your body physically. You need to encounter and have a great encounter with the great I am. You need to meditate on the things that he gave you. Why, motivational teacher? Because you're going to need that to maintain your strength on this journey. And emotionally, you're going to have to learn to trust the great I am with your most important secrets. You're going to have to learn. If you got to talk to a counselor, talk to a counselor. But whatever you do, you got to be able to express yourself, because any area in your life that you don't invest in, it will go bankrupt. And while I'm paying the price of winning, I got to invest in those areas of my life. I have to. There is no, man, listen, man. I know they say black men and mental health and all this stuff. I'm telling you right now, you have to be willing to invest in you. Whether it's massages, whether it's getting your feet done, whether it's you having a relationship, whether it's pastor, whether it's counselor, where you have to be able to talk through some things, there's nothing wrong with it. It's part of the price of winning. It's part of the price of winning that you have to take care of every area of your life. I believe mental health is real, but I don't believe mental health can stop you from attaining the ultimate will of God for your life. I do believe that when you go bankrupt, that means that you need to invest more in that area of your life. The moments where you're starting to feel weak is just I talked about it, a stress signal that I need to invest more time in my life in that area. When there's moments that you're starting to feel doubt and you're starting to feel unbelief, that's a stress signal that I need to spend more time in my life investing in myself. Coach T, come on, man, you did it. You look real good, man. Coach T has lost, I don't know, a lot of weight by investing in himself. He had to invest in himself physically, spiritually, emotionally. I'm telling you, the price of winning requires that you invest in yourself. You know, I sit back and I hear people talk about, you know, LeBron James invests $1 million in his body every year. And Novak Djokovic invests millions of dollars in his body every year. Why, motivational teacher? Into their mental health. Why motivate? Because they need that to be at the top of their game. Tournament after tournament, season after season. They need that to be at the top of their game. And just like the greats need to invest in themselves in that way, you need to invest in yourselves that way. Coach T down 80 pounds. What a great investment. What a great investment. You need to invest in yourself that way as well. Ladies and gentlemen, the price of winning is expensive. The price of winning is expensive. I've been at this since 5:30 this morning. I've taken my kids to work. I've worked out. I worked my secular job. I probably drove 250 miles today. I sat in at least 4 hours of traffic. And I'm sitting right here. Why? Because it's the price of admission to greatness. I picked my kids up from school. I dropped them off at school. I got them fed. Why motivate? Because it is the price of admission to greatness. It is the price. And I don't feel like I'm being shortchanged, and I don't feel like I'm being cheated because that was my day. I feel it's a privilege and an honor for the great I am to see me being used in that way. My life mattered today. Today I won. My life counted for something today. If we put together enough days like that, ladies and gentlemen, the kingdom is yours and everything that comes along with it. I don't worry about anything because the great I am has awakened my I am. When I need rest, I take it. When you need rest, you take it. Don't feel bad about it. Take it. Take it. It started when Anthony Williams said, stop saying, and start doing. It hit home. It hit home hard. Man, bro, it's my pleasure, and I'm glad to see you and making that investment, bro, because I know you got to work on the inside of you that is so huge. And I know a lot of the things that you've been throughout your life, man. So I know that there's something special on your life, bro. I'm happy to be a part of the journey with you. Man, I meant to be on here only 20 minutes tonight. I've been on this thing now 59 minutes and 27 seconds. I got some more people chime. Come on, y'all, get in the text box, chime in this conversation. Currently doing it all. The things that we were taught to pray about because of black people don't need counseling. Guess was all unawakened talking that will no longer stop me. Come on, man. Man, check this out. There's nothing wrong with talking your problems out, talking to somebody. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I'm okay with prayer. I pray. We should all pray. The prayers of a righteous man availeth much. But we're in this world. We're not of it. But while we're in this world, there's some things that we got. This body is of this world. And I got to take care of this body. And it might mean that I might have to talk to somebody. And it's okay as a black man to say, it's okay as a black man to say, sometime I have to talk to somebody. It could be on somebody, a professional licensed counselor. It could be a pastor, or you can have close friends, a confidant that know something. So awesome. Make me excited. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, man. Y'all have chimed in this conversation. And I know the people out here, man. I appreciate every moment you all spent with me. Man, listen, man. I was just going to pop on here for 20 minutes. I didn't have no notes, but every time y'all talk, I got excited. You sent me down another road. Invest in yourself. Come on, Coach T. Y'all sent me down another road. I know some of you all can't see some comments because some coming in on Periscope, some coming in on YouTube, some coming in on Facebook, but they're all on there. I appreciate you all spending a little impromptu time with the motivational teacher to the masses. I hope you all heard something that resonated. If you would, please go to the chat box and put the one thought that resonated with you the most. Please, that will start. I want to start doing this. Thank you for your sacrifice and commitment. Thank you, Aunt Tessa. I want to start doing this because this helps me understand in which ways I need to go in the future as I'm building these motivational Mondays or a terrific third, whatever I'm doing right now. As I begin to build these things, it's nice to make sure my content is relevant. So if you would, please drop in the chat box the one thing you found most relevant in this conversation tonight. And that's what it is, a conversation, because I rely on you all's comments in order to build the content. So if y'all would do that, that would be amazing. If you would, please share this to somebody. Type somebody's name in there. Give this information to somebody so that it may help them down in the future. Because there's a lot of people right now that's standing on the sidelines, and that, like Vaniqua said a couple weeks ago, they lack the information. They need the information to get in the game. Knowledge, we talked about it the other day. That's what I say you got to get all these. Lack of knowledge is not bliss. We need to be gained in all of our getting, get some understanding. Y'all have been phenomenal tonight. Thank you all for chiming in and spending time with the motivational teacher to the mass. I will let you know that I would never take your time for granted, that I will always bring good bread. So when you invest in, and I consider you watching me as an investment, because you could be doing anything else with your time. And I don't take this investment lightly. And believe it, we're going to always have fresh bread on the table. You all have been phenomenal. And until next time, I am challenging you to wage war on mediocrity. Your boy is out.
It ain't no friend to me. Wage war, wage war, wage war, wage war against mediocrity. It ain't no friend to me. Wage war, wage